Welcome to the Week in Review, the show that brings you up to date on the week that was. Here are the top stories. Manmohan Singh's cabinet reshuffle plays it safe. TCS and Infosys report declines in profits. And the investigation into Mumbai's triple blasts gets into full swing. First off, the much-awaited cabinet reshuffle. Observers may have expected to see new faces, but there was no major overhaul. Those elevated to cabinet rank include Beni Prasad Verma, who's now got the top job at the Steel Ministry, where he previously was Minister of State. The Trinamool Congress will retain the railways with Dinesh Trivedi taking over, and Jairam Ramesh will become the new Rural Development Minister. Ramesh was of course India's high-profile and controversial Environment Minister. His replacement is Congress Party veteran Jayanti Natarajan, who is expected to show more flexibility. There were no surprises amongst those ousted. Murali Deora lost his corporate affairs portfolio, and Dayanidhi Maran, who had already offered his resignation, was removed from the Textiles Ministry. Maran's job will be taken over by Anand Sharma, who will also retain the Commerce portfolio. Another minister keeping his post is Kapil Sibal, who will retain the HRD and Telecom ministries. Moving to earnings, India's two biggest IT firms reported their first quarter results during the week, and neither fared very well. Both Infosys and Tata Consultancy Services posted declines in profits on a sequential basis. At the heart of the problems of the software industry is uncertainty. Krish Gopalakrishnan, the outgoing CEO of Infosys, said that while customers hadn't slashed their budgets, it was unclear how much they would actually be willing to spend this year. So here's how the two companies did in 3 months to June. Infosys' first quarter profits declined 5.3% sequentially to 1,722 crores, and its revenues climbed 3.2% to 7,480. TCS meanwhile posted earnings under IFRS standards instead of the US GAAP system it previously used. The company reported a 0.02% fall in net profit to 2,380 crores. That was despite a 6.3% rise in revenue to 10,797. A large financial firm out of Canada plans to enter the Indian market. Fairfax Financial Holding, which owns stakes in companies ranging from Kraft Foods to Dell, is looking to tap into the country's growth story. Mint has learnt it's looking to invest in both listed and unlisted firms in the country. It will acquire both controlling and minority stakes. The Indian investments will be channeled through an affiliate, Fairbridge Capital. Fresh numbers on India's economy came out during the week, and the news isn't good. While the industrial output has remained low in May, inflation has been stubbornly high in June. The index of industrial production for May stood at just 5.6%. That's against the revised figure for April of 5.8%. And new data out on Thursday showed inflation had accelerated in June, though not as much as some economists had feared. The wholesale price index for the month increased 9.44%. In May, the index went up by 9.06%. The inflation and industrial output numbers are the last major macroeconomic data to come out before the Reserve Bank reviews policy rates on the 26th. In other news, government-run Social Security organization EPFO has hired new fund managers. Its top decision-making body, the Central Board of Trustees, has decided on 4 winners. They are State Bank of India, Reliance Capital, HSBC Asset Management, and ICICI Securities Primary Dealership. The board also decided to drop old fund manager ICICI Prudential. All in all, EPFO has a corpus worth some 3.5 trillion rupees. Prime Minister Manmohan Singh has said India will relentlessly pursue those responsible for the latest terrorist outrage in Mumbai. Singh's statement came in the aftermath of the worst attack of its kind since the one in November of 2008. 3 bombs went off at 3 different locations across the city on Wednesday evening. The blasts occurred within a span of just 12 minutes and killed 17 people, besides injuring more than 130. And here are some stories in brief. Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee has promised not to increase borrowing this fiscal year despite the rise in commodity prices. India plans to borrow close to 4.17 trillion rupees during the period, while keeping the fiscal deficit to 4.6% of the GDP. Air India is raising cash to help itself buy 27 Boeing 787 aircraft. It's borrowing a total of $850 million through delivery financing. That means the loan will be raised against the delivery of the planes. And finally, get ready for mobile money. A new study says business done through cell phones could soon surpass those from debit and credit cards. According to the Boston Consulting Group, transactions from mobiles could hit $350 billion by 2015. Transactions using cards are currently worth $235 billion. And that's all we have for you. Thanks for watching.